Hello, my name is Lanie and welcome to my Hivecast series, Movie Mania. In this, I will go through movie history, exploring and explaining genres, events, and details about many famous movies. Today's edition is the May the 4th special, the history of Star Wars. A long time ago in our own galaxy, a movie named Star Wars created a cultural phenomenon that helped create one of the largest franchises and fan bases that the world has ever seen. In this episode, I will explain some of the details about the important films and shows. While this podcast won't cover everything, I hope you take a deeper dive into the Star Wars universe. The first Star Wars film, released in 1977, changed pop culture forever. The movie demonstrates a long-standing conflict between the Rebel Alliance and the dreaded Empire. The film introduces the characters, settings, conflicts, and ideas that would become ingrained in the minds of many. Lightsabers, the Force, droids, Darth Vader, Death Star, and the name Skywalker are important elements in film history. This film would be the catalyst for the second highest-grossing movie franchise in history. 3 years after the release of the first film, The Empire Strikes Back was released in theaters. This edition of the film series is considered by many to be the greatest film in the franchise. The film revolves around the struggles of the heroes against the Empire, while Luke Skywalker trains in the ways of the Force. This film also contains one of the most famous plot twists in history. The Empire Strikes Back remains a must-watch for many. My favorite Star Wars film is 1983's Return of the Jedi. The conclusion to the original trilogy revolves around the battle at Jabba's palace and the final conflict between the Rebels and the Empire. Return of the Jedi gives the audience more emphasis on characters like Jabba the Hutt and the Emperor. Vader and Luke's conflict is one of the more memorable moments in the series. This film's wild settings and classic scenes make it a fitting conclusion to the original trilogy. 1993 saw the release of the first Star Wars prequel, The Phantom Menace. This movie introduces new characters while giving backstory to familiar faces like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. The film tells the story of Jedi involvement in the trade disputes on the planet Naboo. Earning over $1 billion at the box office, The Phantom Menace was a huge success, but many consider it a lower quality Star Wars film. Many moments from the movie are praised, like the Duel of the Fates scene and the introduction of Darth Maul. Some characters, like Jar Jar Binks and 9-year-old Anakin Skywalker, are criticized, but The Phantom Menace remains an important and significant part of Star Wars, due to the fact that the film introduced the millennial generation to the franchise. Love it or hate it, this is a classic Star Wars film. The next film in the franchise would come in 2002. Attack of the Clones would be a continuation of the prequels, taking place 10 years after The Phantom Menace. The movie revolves around the beginning of the Clone Wars and the forbidden relationship between Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala. While this film is praised for its effects and the action, it is criticized for the dialogue and acting. Lines like "I don't like sand" are reasons why Attack of the Clones is considered a lower quality Star Wars film. But many of these cringe-inducing moments have been memed to death. Attack of the Clones serves as a good connection in the film series. The last of the main prequel trilogy is Revenge of the Sith, released in 2005. In this film, the Clone Wars conclude, but at what cost? This film is highly regarded as the best of the prequel trilogy and a favorite among fans. While this movie is criticized for similar reasons as the rest of the prequels, it makes up for it in action and classic scenes. The cinematic battles and memeable moments are reasons why this film remains a favorite among many. The first animated television series on this list is The Clone Wars, which ran from 2008 to 2014, and a final season in 2020. The show demonstrates many of the conflicts during the Clone Wars. The show created memorable moments and created fan-favorite characters like Ahsoka Tano, Captain Rex, Bo-Katan Kryze, and Clone 99. While not the first Star Wars show, The Clone Wars remains a must-watch for kids and adults. Star Wars Rebels is a television series that ran from 2014 to 2018. The story revolves around a group of rebels and their conflicts against the Empire. This widely praised show gave Star Wars fans a bridge between the prequels and original trilogy. Rebels also provided more details about the history of Mandalore and Jedi training. The show, with its Excellent writing and animation makes for a great watch. The next Star Wars film would premiere 10 years after the prequel trilogy ended. The Force Awakens, released in 2015, chronicles the new resistance and the rise of the First Order. The film became the third highest grossing film of all time. The Force Awakens was touted as a revitalizing effort for Star Wars, but the film does have some negative comments surrounding it. Some believe that the film was just a rehash of the original trilogy due to their major similarities. The rebirth of Star Wars films would end up having 2 sequels, spawning the sequel trilogy. How did the Rebel Alliance get Death Star plans? Well, the 2016 film Rogue One explains the story. The movie sheds light on the group of rebels that helped steal the plans. As the first live-action spin-off film, Rogue One was praised for its storytelling and immersive characters. This is a one-of-a-kind Star Wars film that is one of the best in the franchise. The Last Jedi, released in 2017, is a sequel to The Force Awakens. The film follows a weakened resistance attempting to escape the First Order while Rey receives Jedi training. The film received mixed reviews from Star Wars fans, but the movie was praised by critics. Actress Kelly Marie Tran even received death threats due to her character in the film. The Last Jedi remains a hot topic for the audience, but what do you think? The 2018 film Solo tells the backstory of beloved Star Wars characters like Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Lando Calrissian. The movie received mixed reviews, but many audiences enjoyed the action and character portrayal of Lando by Donald Glover. Overall, Solo is a fun watch, and it gives great insight into some classic characters. The final film in the sequel trilogy is 2019's Rise of Skywalker. This film follows the return of the evil Emperor and the Resistance attempts to stop him. As with recent Star Wars movies, the film received mixed reviews and opinions. While some felt the film was a fitting conclusion to the series, others believed that the movie was terrible fan service. The Rise of Skywalker may be divisive, but it is the conclusion to the Skywalker saga. The first live-action Star Wars TV show is The Mandalorian. First released in 2019, the series follows Din Djarin, a bounty hunter, and his attempts to protect and return a Force-sensitive child. The Mandalorian has been one of the most successful shows in recent years. The show, with its fantastic characters, excellent writing, and immersive settings, has created a dent in major pop culture. Djarin and Grogu, better known as Baby Yoda, have become staples in the minds of many. The Mandalorian is a wonderful watch. Ever wondered what happened to some of the clones after the war? The Bad Batch, released in 2021, explores this topic. The highly rated animated series is an exciting spin-off to the Clone Wars. Already in its 2nd season, the show is popular among adults and children alike. This next show brought back classic Star Wars actors Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. Obi-Wan Kenobi, released in 2022, revolves around the title character, his struggles with guilt, and his attempts to save a young Princess Leia. The highly awaited series was highly honored and watched after its release. If you want Star Wars nostalgia, you should watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. The 2022 series Andor is a spin-off of the film Rogue One. It follows Cassian Andor's journey into the rebellion. The show, with its stellar cast and amazing atmosphere, is a great watch for any Star Wars fan. There are many upcoming projects in the Star Wars universe. As of recording, new movies, shows, and video games have been announced. Star Wars is an expanding franchise that continues to grow. Star Wars has a continuing impact on pop culture. Its enjoyable characters, setting, mood, and scenes have remained ingrained in the minds of the world. Star Wars is considered one of the most popular franchises for a reason. Well, that concludes the May the 4th special, The History of Star Wars. I hope you enjoyed this series. If you did, like and subscribe. If you have any questions or ideas for future topics, comment down below. Click the link for a complete list of films with ratings and reviews. Thanks for watching.